Hi, so I'm Helen. I'm a second year PhD student at the French department in UCD, and my thesis is identity in displacement, which will be a comparative study of French Caribbean and Francophone migrant literature. So my motivations really for undertaking this project, so a few different reasons. Well, the first and probably the most important reason is I've always had a strong interest in literature of a transnational scope, particularly the French Caribbean. So I decided to use this interest and passion and really branch out and try to do a PhD thesis. And then the second point is my fascination with conflicting identity narratives. And I think that has definitely been motivated by my own background, coming from the north of Ireland, where we have the British and Irish mix / dichotomy. The next point, I really want to kind of really emphasize the fruitfulness of exploring the comparative approach. So by taking Francophone literature from different geographical areas, but which all have similar and contrasting points on the theme of identity and what happens when someone is forced or voluntarily leaves their country. So how do they view themselves as a result of that? And then the last point, a professor at the University of Liverpool, Charles Forsdick, has pointed out is there is great value in the multilingual and the comparative approach. So what I'm hoping to point out or achieve as a result of this thesis, firstly, that this term identity is a very elusive, slippery concept. It's based on what Patrick Chamoiseau classes as imaginary structures, so really it has maybe not as much to do with race, language and culture as we might initially think. The second point is I really want to show the importance of the written and the spoken word, or more specifically the voice, in articulating an identity narrative. I believe this will be most interesting in the French Caribbean literature, where you have the dynamics of the written French culture and the more oral Creole culture. My methodology, as a basis really, I'll be drawing on two areas. The first one pointed out by Homi Bhabha, which is identity is only ever a problematic access to the notion of totality. So identity can never be clear-cut, not a finished product. Then leading on from that, we have Jacques Derrida, who has stated and how Western discourse can be, there's sort of this impulse to establish dichotomies rather than maybe analysing this area of entre, this area of in-between, this liminal space. So lastly, just going through my corpus, first of all we have La Rue Casse-Nègre by Joseph Zobel. Then we have Tombeau Capitaine by the Guadeloupean writer Simone Schwarzbach. We have Solibo Magnifique by Patrick Chamoiseau. Chamoiseau, like Zobel, is also from Martinique. And moving on to Haiti, we have Passage by Émile Olivier. And then moving to France and Africa, we have Colette Falouz and Avenue de France. And then last but not least, the non-fictional L'Africain by Jean-Marie Gustave Leclerc, who's a very prominent Francophone writer, and that kind of draws on experience of France, Mauritius and also Africa. So thanks for having a listen today. So I have the list of my primary texts that I'll be using, and then also the secondary texts. So we have Location of Culture by Homi Bhabha, and then we have Dissemination by Jacques Derrida.